Good morning.
Morning.
I was gonna say princess because it looks like we've got new wallpaper,
No.
new
And I'm not.
house. I'm gonna switch it so I can see my camera
Hey.
here.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello. We are so glad you're here.
Yeah, I love this new background. I was getting bored
Yes.
with the other one. We look too professional and too newsy, I think. It's just
Yes.
not, we're
That's
just
not
not
us.
commercially kind of people. And
We'd like to think we are, but we're not.
yeah. Yeah. My friends on LinkedIn think I am. They're trying to sell me all sorts of things.
Be professional.
They all want to promote our podcast, and do all of this
Nice.
stuff. You give me
Right.
money, I give you
Yes.
promotion.
Hey, you know what we didn't do though? We didn't do our soapbox sound this week. So
We did
I'm
not because it was because you were busy doing
Thank
prettying up our set here. So next week we'll have a soapbox sound because we got to pull that out.
I don't even know how to do that.
I don't know.
I don't
I
even
don't
know.
know how you do that. So, did you share this on your channels?
I did.
Awesome.
Hello
Awesome.
everyone on my channels.
Did you change the title of the show on your
I
site?
did.
Okay. All right.
We're all set.
We are all set. I just got back from working out. It was
Yeah.
leg day. Squats.
Nice. Oh, you
Front
got a
squats.
thumbs up.
Oh, how did I do
Your
that?
well, you're holding your cup
Oh.
with a thumbs up.
Yeah. All right.
I don't have one of those, which is fine. I don't
It
need
happened one time in group. It happened. You had
Yes.
Didn't you have balloons pop up?
Actually, you did.
Yeah.
That was all you.
I don't know what we did.
You were doing this, like, I
Yeah.
don't know, these gestures or
Yeah.
like releasing the balloons. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
must not have an update.
Yeah.
fine.
That
don't
Apple
need
update.
Yes.
So how was your week?
It was busy. It was really busy. Yeah.
Baseball season?
Baseball started. Which isn't terrible yet. Easter was the reason why life was chaotic last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
In coaching and all that sort. So
Oh my gosh.
it
Yeah.
was good. My house is a mess, and we went outside. It was gorgeous.
Mhm.
So we got to do some yard work and all sorts. How about you?
Was busy.
How's
Very
your
busy.
grandbaby?
Oh, he's beautiful.
Yeah.
He's beautiful. Yeah, they're getting over some sickness at their house. So
Okay.
I remember the day when you probably are still in that day when you just wondered, is everybody gonna be healthy so we can go to grandma's house?
Right. So true.
It was just like a crapshoot whether we woke
Yeah.
up throwing up that morning and we could go to grandma's.
You know, the surprising thing, and I don't know what it says about my parenting, but my kids rarely got sick.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember much. And knock
Not a
on
lot.
wood. There was
not
not
a
a
lot.
whole lot of not a whole lot of vomiting, not a whole lot of there's the allergy stuff, but
Yeah.
other than that, there was not
Yeah, we
really.
had a couple broken bones, a couple staples in the head. We were reminiscing about which kid took the biggest beating because we had 3 boys.
Right.
Good morning, everybody. Hey,
Good
tell us where
morning.
you're watching from. We want to
Yeah.
hear from you. And today is an audience participation day. So if you don't bring us a topic, we'll just sit here in silence. We got nothing
Yeah.
to do today. I got my
That
got
would
my
be a very
Stanley,
big challenge
got
for
my
you.
coffee. I could not do it.
Coach Monica cannot sit in silence.
No.
You should
Nope.
try it. You know
North
that
Carolina.
that new TikTok where somebody says the first person who moves has to make dinner.
I would be making
like
dinner, doing the laundry, doing
Yes,
all of
all
it.
the time.
All the
'cause
time.
You can't.
I cannot handle uncomfortable silence. I have to fill it with something. And you
great.
do that in group, and
Yes.
my, whoo,
I do it because I know what it's doing to your insides.
yes, it
So
kills me.
that gives me motivation to do it. Only because that's the younger sibling in me coming out.
Yep, I got my glasses
Yeah.
out because I can't see. I realized
Oh.
this weekend. My husband told me, "Did you know I'm going to be 49 in April?" That's really hard news because I'm 6 months behind him. So I noticed the other day, I go in our addiction support group and I pull out our book. I'm like, hold on, ladies. I have to get my glasses on.
So you're like entering
Warsaw.
the stage of wisdom. I see 50-year-olds and older, like they're entering in the world of like I'm entering that wisdom world where
bringing my
people come
lipstick.
to me with
my
your
lipstick.
wisdom.
With my wisdom and lipstick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we got our Mustang out this week. Did you see my license plate?
I did. I'm jealous.
I know.
I don't know if Mark would let me have something. And
Brian did not let me until, bless his heart if he's watching, suddenly he had a change of heart. I just wanted my license plate to say Keto Mom. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that because he drives the Mustang and we can't do that. However, there was something that happened when he got his Jeep and he wanted a license plate for Notre Dame. And I'm like, well, I drive that Jeep too, and I don't like Notre Dame. Boy. Well, suddenly it appeared this year. It came in the mail. KTO Mom.
By golly.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
Hey, Barbara, it's good to see you. Warsaw, Indiana. And somebody wants to talk about switching addictions. Ooh, boy. Ooh. We're going to start heavy. So, yeah, put your questions. Put your questions in here. Coach Darcy and I are going to start the topic today. We're going to start by talking about honesty because that's going to bleed into every other question you ask. Mm-hmm. And it's something that we as coaches notice in our coaching. I can typically tell within 5 minutes into our coaching session if a client is being honest with me. Mooresville. Hey, Tina, Mooresville, Indiana. What's the weather like there? Huh?
Mom's here too.
Oh, Mom. Your mom?
She rarely. No, yeah, your mom.
Or our mom. Our mom? Anna's here?
Yes. Maybe it's my mom.
Yeah, she's a very faithful. Our mom is not. My other mom is not. She's not.
She's too busy to support us.
She says she can't find us.
Somebody give her a tutorial.
No, I've tried.
Hello. Oh, it's my mom.
It's your mom. I know. I'm going to call her my mom too because I need somebody to love me too.
Yes.
She texted me the other day. She texted me the other day. She gave me this amazing recipe, which if I was a baker, I probably would try to make it, but I was like salivating. It was something chocolate.
It was a 90-second mug. Like you can do that with it.
Oh, I can do that.
With fat bomb in the middle. Man, I'm going to try it. I really am.
All right. Okay, we're getting some. So we've got, I didn't think anybody would participate today. So we got to get on this thing. Let's start this session up. So let's talk about honesty. Yeah. Yes. Give me an example of somebody who's not honest with you. When they come to you as a client, because I got one too. So I got your back if you don't have one.
Okay.
Somebody comes to you and they're like, gosh, the weight is not coming off. Coach, I'm mad at you because you're supposed to get this weight off of me.
Yes.
It must be your program that has a problem and it's just not coming off. I'm logging my food.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what do you have to say about that?
So then I always ask, like, okay, so if we're logging our food, are we measuring? Mm-hmm. Are we measuring our food? In that case, it's usually guesstimating. And I can always tell when a client is just kind of guesstimating when they put their macros in the next day. Mm-hmm. That's the big one.
Live tracking. Yes.
They're not live tracking. I can tell when they're, even if they're pre-logging, I can tell that they're prepared. They know, they see. But then, when it comes to dinner time, it's not filled in until the next day. Yeah. Or maybe sometimes 2 days after. Yeah. I'm like, did you really remember what you had? Because sometimes we like to underestimate just to let our numbers be perfect.
Yeah. And the reason why we know this is we have 2 different kinds of programs. Mm-hmm. When you come into our program, you're going to probably get a bit of all of them. But we have what's called a reverse diet. And in order to even be accepted into this program, which is the same diet that we take our GLP-1 weight loss shots clients through so they don't gain the weight back. But a reverse diet, you have to have accurate calculations in your food. And so the reason we know if you're live tracking or not is based upon a reverse diet. So I'm going to brag on one of my girls because she is on a she came to me at 800 calories. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try to work with this person. I'm going to try to work with her. She'd been on keto for 8 years. If this is you and you want to own it up, raise your hand and I'll celebrate with you. But other than that, I'm not going to name your name. But she was like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to work with this client. I'm going to try to get some more weight off. She'd been on keto for 8 years and she had been on pretty strict. A lot of people come to us saying they've been on keto and they haven't been anything close to what we teach. And she was close. I mean, she was right on her. You just gave her A+ every day and she wasn't losing weight. I'm like, okay, girl, it's time. Thankfully, I have her for a year. And these clients I love because I get to do the troubleshooting. Well, we went on a reverse diet, and every single time, and what we do with a reverse diet is we bump them up conservatively every single week, every day. They have to up their calories, at least 100 calories. But we watch it because you could gain weight on a reverse diet.
Yes.
Every single time we upped her calories, she lost weight. She lost 6 pounds. So she went from, and she's up to 1,450 calories from 800. So
That's amazing.
We've reversed it that much so far. We're going up to 16 to 2,000 before we put her in a deficit again. She's still in a deficit because last week she lost 6 pounds.
To me, that just proves a big old point.
Huge.
You need food to lose weight.
You have to eat more to lose more, period. These starvation diets are lying to your face.
Yes.
So she's up to 1,450 calories a day, lost 6 pounds last week alone, and she is feeling amazing. Now, she's going to start fighting me in a couple of weeks because I'm going to ask her to eat 2,000 calories, and she's going to start fighting. And it's hard. I went through it myself. It's hard. Reverse diet's very difficult. But that proves to me when our clients say, oh, I'm live tracking. No, you're not. Or I skipped a couple of days. When you skip a couple of days, you knock out the entire week, right?
Yeah.
So in order to lose weight, you have to be willing to be honest with yourself. My addictions group last night, we just started a new round last night. It was a beautiful session with them. We are going through the book Overeaters Anonymous and the 12 Steps. My program is based on the 12 Steps of Overeaters Anonymous. And as we were reading through the book, I realized that the first step in AA as well as Overeaters Anonymous is you have to admit you are powerless. You have to admit. And until you admit you are powerless over everything, nothing changes. And so honesty has to be the foundation of your weight loss journey. If it's not, and let's tell them, let's be honest with our people, right? We went through a situation. I still am going through the situation. You are going through the situation of getting a little bit lax and saying, we're eating keto. I don't understand where this extra 10 pounds came from. I don't understand. And when we went back to measuring our food and being honest with what we were eating near 2,000 calories, y'all.
Yeah, that was our maintenance number.
That's our maintenance number. No wonder we're not losing weight. So honesty, you have to be honest with yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, there's no way you can be honest with your coach. And if you're not honest with your coach, the program won't work. It's not the program that doesn't work. It's you that's not working the program, right? We actually make our clients sign a compliance statement now that says, unless you're doing the things, we can't guarantee you success because honesty has to be number one.
Yeah. And those one biters sneak in that they feel like they don't have to track either. You know, if you just take a taste, well, that one taste could have like plummeted what you were just doing.
Or let's say, you tracked that tablespoon of peanut butter, but what you didn't do was you didn't level that peanut butter off. You didn't level that tablespoon off and you actually ate 2. That's a difference of 250 calories right there. Yep. So leveling it off, leveling off that tablespoon is important. That's honesty. Right. And your body doesn't care if you lie to it or not. Your body's going to do what your body's going to do. It's like, I know how much you ate. Yeah. Why do we lie to ourselves? Why do we lie to ourselves?
It's funny because, we expect a lot of things for other people. We don't want people to lie to us. We get mad when they lie, cheat, and all that stuff. Right. There's songs about that. Right. But we can easily do it to ourselves because we don't have to, we don't have to hold ourselves accountable. Right. We don't have to be, I don't understand. I don't understand it, but it is like human nature for us to just be like, well, nobody's around to see me do this.
Well, and you bring the point. You bring the exact next point and that is people don't get on the scale because they think if they don't get on the scale, it's not really happening.
It's not there.
They will binge, they will binge over a holiday. They'll go out, they'll eat all of the things, not put it in their tracker and think, never happened. If it's not in my tracker, it didn't happen. And I am certainly not getting on the scale the next day. So that didn't happen either. Problem is, it did happen. Right. And if you acknowledge it and you see it in your food tracker, This is why we're not intuitive coaches. Intuition does not work. Yes. Intuition does not work. So we've got some questions.
Yes,
if you have a question today, I don't care what it's about. I don't care if it's about, we'll go skin removal. We will go marriage. We will go anywhere with you today. If you've got some questions, and we do have some questions. So let me pull up the first one. All right. Let's talk about this. I'm assuming this is a question. About switching addictions. This is so true. And I can speak on this one because I'm a licensed food addiction coach, and my closet is proof that we have what's called addiction transfer. A lot of times, if you have ever been in AA, you will notice something present in those meetings.
Yeah.
You will notice a whole place full of donuts and snacks. Because we have what's called addiction transfer. So instead of being addicted to alcohol, we switch our addiction over to sugar. For my case, I switched my addiction from sugar to shoes. And my closet cannot hold another pair of shoes.
Although it did for
did.
Easter.
Oh my gosh, I found such a sale. I did. Now that brings the question up. That brings a legitimate question. Is addiction transfer bad? That's what I brought to my addictions class for my wallet. And I just suggested my husband move out of our closet, right? It sounds so simple to me. Isn't it? There's 3 other closets in the house because we're empty nesters now.
Yeah,
except they came back. They came back.
So it's all coming out today, guys.
You never know what you're going to get during a live. During our recordings, we are so composed. We
try to be. We're so serious.
But that's a legitimate question. If you are in our audience right now and you've struggled with alcoholism, please answer that question for us. Is addiction transfer a bad thing? If you have to change and you have to step down and you have to transition, and there are some clients in my addictions program that I couldn't start a client until she got rid of her Pepsi. If she would have had to go to the hospital if I had ripped everything away from her. So we've had some transformative foods, or transition foods we call them. And that's not a bad thing. The goal and the ultimate goal is not having any sweets and even weaning ourselves away from the sugar alcohols, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a real question. And so what do you think, Coach? Do you think addiction transfer is a bad thing? There's no wrong answer here.
I know. I'm just thinking, because what's coming to mind is, if we have the spirit of addiction, even if it's exercise, can we be over exercising? Mm-hmm. Is it harmful? That's more of the questions that come to mind. Is the addiction transfer a harmful addiction transfer at first, and then later? You have to think about long term as well. Because you could go broke.
Oh
with buying shoes every
that could go sour. That could go sour. But the other addiction that I didn't tell you about was I also started drinking a glass of wine every day. Well, wine is pure sugar, number one. So I was fooling myself into believing I was drinking low carb, sugar-free wine. But so that one was a sour one. That one was no, that addiction transfer. But it's like, did you experience this? When you stopped sugar, did you feel kind of a desperation of oh my gosh, where's my foundation? Where is it? And you grab something and you're like, oh, this makes me feel good. This stimulates the dopamine receptors that I've stopped with the sugar. Mm-hmm. And you go for that feeling of dopamine again.
I think it came with, actually, this is a far out one, but I think that one came with understanding the keto and the knowledge. All of that was, I wanted to know the science. I wanted to know all of that stuff. So I became so addicted to, having to have the right answers that, I overwhelmed my brain, and then I forgot it all.
Interesting. Probably a good thing. It's probably a good thing.
Over cramming. I then had to come to the conclusion that, I don't care what other people think.
Right.
I'm not throwing my pearls before the swine. That's what I'm not doing. So mine was not a physical thing per se to grab onto, but it was, I had to prove myself.
Yeah. And in your defense, the health coaches out there, many of them, I have some sisters in this space that we don't even agree, or we don't even necessarily follow the same health plan, but I've got their back. I mean, there are so many. I've got a couple who do Whole Foods with their clients, and they want to reverse some Hashimoto's. They do it the healthy way. They feed their people the right way. I lessen my carbs a little bit. I will defend them. I will send my clients to them if so there's some, we've got each other's backs, and I refer a lot of people. I don't care for the paleo lifestyle too much because it feeds the sugar addiction that I'm trying to stop because of the fruits. So I will refer the people who want paleo, I will refer out because, that's just not my passion. Right. However, in the TikTok world, it is nasty out there. They will split your videos and just bash you.
Right.
So it's legit that you don't want to stand up for what you believe, but then you go through the experience, you go through all of these stories that we have of people reversing type 2 diabetes completely, no longer having it. You're like, well, why are we embarrassed of this?
I know.
It works.
It is a harsh world out in there because you can't, I just saw one thing that Dr. Barry posted, and there were some people out there talking, fruit's good. Why are you bashing fruit? Blah, blah, blah about, I'm like, that's you.
I'll stand up for my Dr. Barry.
Yes.
He's good. I trust that man with my life.
I go with the facts. I go where the science is proven. We have so much data from our clients' experience. Amazing stories. What are they called?
Testimonies.
Yeah. Of this thing working. And
I'm
going to go with that versus, you just being on this lifestyle for a little kick here.
When you want it and you want it bad enough, it's going to work. Yeah. And you're going to grab it. It may take a little bit longer, but when you really want it, if you're not tracking every day, you don't really want it. You really don't want it. You think you want it, but you don't want it. So I tell you what. So there's a lot of that out there. And addiction transfer is real. I'm neutral on that because I think sometimes I don't go buy shoes like I used to.
Right.
And I don't drink alcohol anymore. I just, I don't, I have squirrel. I had somebody who messaged me yesterday and who was desperate to lose weight, and they were asking about the program, asking which one they belonged in. And she's like, at the end of the conversation, she said, "Oh, I need to clarify with you. You're drug-free, right?" Broke my heart. Now we have to be a company who says, yes, we are drug-free. We do this thing the natural way. Is that
trying to get you off those drugs, y'all?
My gosh. Sad. That is really sad. That shows you how many health coaches are caving right into that drug.
Yeah, into that drug.
I was sad.
They want
Let's go to another question.
Anyway.
Let's go. Barbara says, how long does it typically take to get past the sugar cravings? Love this question.
Yeah.
So when we put a client on a detox and we remove the sugar, the first week we call Hell Week. You will experience symptoms unlike you have ever experienced before. Your body's detoxing from poison. You have poison in your body the initial flow of toxins out of your body takes everything out of you. About the third day, you get the shakes, you get cold sweats, and you feel like you're dying. It's a literal drug detox. Headache, all of that. People blame keto for that. Nope, that is just the toxins leaving. It's all you, baby. Yep. Now we have a way to stop it.
Yes.
We pour electrolytes in you.
Yeah.
So the first week is Hell Week. Second week, you've experienced a little bit of a reprieve. So that second week, you're feeling a little bit better. You don't feel good, but you feel like I can do this.
Yeah.
And you start to see the clouds parting a little bit. When you reach about the 3-week mark, you feel what's the guy's name in our yellow book?
Hold on, Michael Collins.
Michael Collins, thank you. It's what he calls the pink cloud. And what happens during the pink cloud is the clouds part and you feel hope. And this is about the 3rd week. Can you hold that book up, Darce? This is where we take our model from.
Gently.
Yes. I really want
Is
a
it
copy
backwards?
of
It's
that.
probably backwards.
Can you send a copy of that home with my daughter-in-law on Saturday?
Oh, yeah. I thought about that. Like, what can I send home to Monica last week? No, not
That
last
book
week.
right
Week
there.
before. Yeah.
I've scribbled mine all up. But anyway, the pink cloud. The pink cloud, you're like, oh my gosh, I can do two things at once. I feel free. But then something happens. Something happens in about 2 weeks. You go through another detox. And this is called the emotional detox. When you hit the emotional detox, other stuff happens. And you have to start to wrestle through some emotions that you're like, where the heck did that come from? I remember crying out of the blue, just crying. But it's called an emotional detox. And that's where that begins. About 90 days, when you had, here's the key. Here's the key, and I want you to speak on this, Darcy. Please back me up. If you have remained sugar-free, breads, pastas, rice, sugar, ultra-processed foods, if you have remained clean, you're free. 90 days.
Yeah.
If you cheated at all, start back with day one.
Yep. I'm backing you up.
Do you see that?
We do the 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's our minimum, right?
Yes.
And I always encourage our clients, like, hey, if you feel like you can keep going and you don't need to have those berries, then keep going. The longer you go, the more
Keep the berries out as long
hardcore
as you
your
can.
palate's going to change. Like I remember having iceberg lettuce, and it tasted so sweet to me.
Yes.
And I was like, what is happening here? Like, iceberg lettuce is not sweet.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, it is. So it's just like, and when they do, they have like that freedom of like, I don't need any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Yeah.
have these berries. I don't need to have these keto sweets even. So
And after you get in this, here's another, I'm going to bring you into my addiction world a little bit. But once a client reaches 90 days clean and they have a relapse, when they have a relapse, the relapse didn't happen when they picked up that sugar.
No.
The relapse happened about 3 steps before that. So the relapse happened when their husband came in and told them, I want a divorce. That was pretty exaggerative. That was, that's when the relapse happened. The relapse happened when your kid, let's bring it down a little bit. When your kid says, Mom, we're late to baseball practice. I told you we had to be there an hour ago, and it's now an hour. The relapse happened then, not when you picked up the cookie.
Yes.
So the relapse does not happen when you pick up the drug, right?
Right.
Someday, it's a dream of mine to have Dr. Vera on here. I'm going to do it. My dream is going to come true one day. And when we have Dr. Vera on here, Dr. Vera Tarman, she wrote Food Junkies.
Yes.
You all are just going to have a treat. I fell in love with this woman. She's from Canada. She's just so darn cute, but she speaks the addiction language. So I'm not the professional. I just help people. She's a professional. So, yeah. So that's the sugar addiction. If you can remain abstinent for 90 days, does not mean you're not going to relapse. But the minute you relapse, you're going to have to go through those stages again. And not only are you going to have to go through everything again, but it will be harder next time. Each time you relapse, it's going to be harder to come back.
Yep. Aren't you like training your brain that way? It's like making new pathways in your brain of like this. And then it goes into then you're guilting yourself.
Exactly.
So you then go emotionally guilting yourself.
Exactly.
So you're bringing these new bad habits of, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to punish myself.
Yeah.
Maybe, and they do that. They link it together with fasting.
Yeah. The ring of shame.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I don't like fasting.
Right.
I love fasting because fasting is incredible for your body, but not when you bring shame into it.
Not when you're shaming yourself.
You want to take this one, Coach?
Oh, so we heard Dr. Bird talk about Dr. Bird. Dr. Bird.
I love Dr.
You're
Bird.
Not Dr. Bird. And apple cider vinegar and lemon juice daily. I don't do that daily. We have tried like that. The olive oil and lemon juice. I believe that's helpful for when you're trying to like line your gut and put some good microbiomes and all that stuff in your gut.
Well, let's clarify because this is 100% right. So the apple cider vinegar and lemon juice, I just don't do it daily like I should. We 100% believe that this is a beautiful thing, especially for heartburn, for gut healing. Yes, 100%. Right. Do we do it every day?
Yeah.
Honestly.
For me, I feel like I have so many other things that I take in place that I'm like, what's another
I
thing
forget.
like
I
this?
just forget.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
So,
and because it's not a pleasant experience. It's not a pleasant
I
experience.
like it. I like it.
I don't like it.
I
I don't
like
like it. Hurts my throat.
I
But
did. I did
good.
do the thing with that one of our clients did was the apple cider vinegar and then the turmeric
Turmeric. Mhm.
and the black pepper seed balls.
Yeah.
What are those seeds things?
Peppercorns.
Yeah, peppercorns. That's what they are. And it's a great anti-inflammatory. I
Yeah.
I do take apple cider vinegar tablets every day
Yeah.
for a lot, for my ketones, for everything that apple cider vinegar is.
So you do
beneficial
it.
for.
You just do it.
I
in
do.
pill
Don't
form.
do it with I don't do it with lemon or together.
Well, I think lemon juice. I think the lemon juice just makes it kind of more palatable. And I mean, there may be a scientific reason. He's a brilliant man. but-
Lemon's very very bitters. It's a bitter fruit. It's very good for the gut. So all of this
So-
is good.
So basically,
Yeah.
Facebook user. I don't know who put this, but basically, you're convicting us.
Yes, I know.
I know. And it does help with heartburn because I just learned about this. And this is not going to be hugely scientific and maybe not even, medically correct in the correct terms. But basically, when people are muting their heartburn that they have, they're actually harming themselves when they eat the Tums like candy because there's something wrong. Your gut is telling you that that flap is not closing for a reason. The stomach acids are not right. And actually, when you take the apple cider vinegar and put that acid down there, it neutralizes what's going on down there.
Right.
And that's why it stops because people are like, well, that seems like acid would make it heartburn worse. And it actually fixes it.
It
So
neutralizes it. And I would suggest diluting it. I went through a period of time where I just did some shots of apple cider vinegar. And yes, I got used to it. But don't get used to it. Just dilute it.
dilute. Oh, yes.
dilute
For the sake of everything enamel, please. Oh
Yeah.
gosh. All right.
Yeah.
So here it was toothpaste. There's some conversations that I'm not connecting together in here. All right.
We're talking
here's
about
the-
addictions there, replacement.
Oh, okay. And
Addiction
justification, maybe? Yeah. Well, Barbara asks a question that we can answer. How many names of sugar show up in no sugar or sugar-free products? And unfortunately, the
Way too
majority of everything sugar-free that you think you are eating is not sugar-free. Do an experiment tonight for all of you health people out there, gurus. Go to your cupboards and see if you can find the word maltodextrin.
Yes.
Maltodextrin. Hold on.
Yes. Where's your bag?
Show you. Yeah, my bag.
An iffy bag.
Client brought this to me, and I'm like, "What did you bring me?" I'm like, I'm scared.
Did you double check their work?
I was gonna take it to a conference with me where I was speaking, and I'm like, I don't think I can get this on a plane.
Probably not.
Maltodextrin is deadly. In fact, did you read that article that you were made aware of in group? You got to learn the
Don't
art of
judge
spin.
me.
Coach,
Don't
you've got
judge
to
me.
learn the art of spin when you're in a group like this. In a group like you were.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
watched
coaching. I'm
it.
doing some live coaching. There you go. Yes. Yes.
That's a lie because I didn't. I don't lie to my clients.
Oh, she was
got
a little
buried.
bit behind in
No,
class.
It just got buried.
Just got buried because the group is so actively talking to each other. It got buried.
It's so
But
true. It
cornstarch is another word for maltodextrin.
I did
Go-
read that, by the way, and I printed it out.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm going to read it again. I'm going to put a lot of that in the curriculum, giving Dr. Berg full credit for it
Yes.
because wow, maltodextrin is evil. It was so evil that I went to
Cornstarch.
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 Maltodextrin has a glycemic index, meaning your sugar spikes at 135. Table sugar is 65 on that scale. But because of the lobbyists, because of our politicians who
Because
have
they don't know what it is.
They don't care. It's cheap to
Don't
make.
care.
It's corn. It's cheap to make. Throw it in every food item, and call it sugar free.
Yeah. They like to put. I learned in the genetically modified world because they get pretty hardcore about the genetically modified. Is that the pockets are real deep. Like if you they don't know about genetically modified. They don't really care about it because they've got other things on their plate. They're not going to study about the genetically modified
No.
stuff. I'm
It's
wondering how many times I can say genetically modified in one sentence. But
It's disgusting.
it's
Really.
disgusting.
It really is.
The pesticides, it's killing us. It's ruining our gut.
It's banned in 11 countries.
11 countries. 11
Not
countries.
here.
That's
And
a
I'm
lot.
all about freedom. I'm all about freedom. Our country is founded on freedom.
We're not experimental.
But I am for truth. Tell people what it is. This is sugar. If you're diabetic, go to your cupboards right now. Not right now. Wait till we're done.
We didn't take our soapbox out.
Our soapbox. Next week we're gonna have a sound for when we pull out the soapbox.
It's a challenge.
your-
I'll do it.
That's your
'Cause I'm
assignment.
spinning it around. I'm going to do it, Monica.
That's your assignment. And then I got to be ready to pull it out of our things here.
Anyway, pockets are deep. That's what
Pockets
happens.
run deep, and you can
Yep.
tell a politician anything you want him to do and just hand him some green, right? So my passion is I want it banned. If they can't ban it, because we have a hard
Or
time
label.
in this country agreeing on anything, can we at least call it sugar?
Yeah.
Because
Or
our
label it.
diabetics are in trouble.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, now you
Wait a
have to. I gotta. Thank you.
I doubled up on the
you.
soapbox, so you got a little taller.
So I've been banned on Facebook a lot, and we talked about a little bit about this last time, where you can find my spicy stuff over on Twitter. I was so angry last week. I had heard in the past that the ADA was full of a bunch of crap, right? I'm like, these people, truly, they want to help people, right? They want to help people. American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association, surely these people want to save lives, do they not? I went to their website because Dr. Berry, he got me started on it. He got me.
Thanks you, Mr. Berry. I said thanks.
Dr. Berry,
Yes.
please warn us before we are forced to step on our soapbox, because it ticks me off. These people, I truly believe, want to hurt people. Maybe there's people there that really feel they don't know the agenda of the ADA. Maybe they just haven't read it. They haven't gone deeper into it, and they're just ignorant. Maybe they don't understand. And maybe our job is to calm down and to get off our soapbox and just go educate them. That's not what they're doing. They're doubling down. The video they posted, did you see the video that they posted last week?
Yes, Monica, I saw it.
This woman was holding a plate up and telling the people what to eat. Now, this woman, and I don't profile, but this woman was struggling in her own health, okay? Mm-hmm. You could tell she was struggling in her own health. She holds up this plate and is just promoting and just spewing what to put on this plate. Carbs, sugars, put some veggies on there, a little bit of protein. It was everything that kills a diabetic. And that was the first time, and Dr. Berry posted that. And that's when I'm like, I want to get mad here, but I know if I go over to Facebook and get mad, they're going to block me. So it came to me. I'm like, oh, Twitter is freedom over here. You can say whatever you want over here. So
Spicy channel.
I spent the entire weekend.
It's X.
Oh, we can't say that?
I don't know. No, it's X. It's not
I
Twitter
thought
anymore. It's X.
I thought you said another word. So I spent an entire weekend over it with my people, and I realized we are not alone. Over in Facebook and over those accounts, we're alone because
We're
you're
all
not
by
allowed to
ourselves.
speak truth over here. But over on Twitter, we are not alone, and there's people who really want to see people healed. There was this one guy that he wrote this book. He's a surgeon, and it's a book called "Stay Off My Operating Table." Oh my gosh, this guy was amazing. I'm going to get that book. Stay Off My Operating Table. And all of these doctors are coming together and holding the ADA accountable. Anyway, that's a side note. What brought that topic up anyway?
The maltodextrin.
You can find me over on Twitter. You can see a whole different side of me. This is a calm side. You can see a whole different side of me over on Twitter.
Sometimes she makes me feel uncomfortable because of how spicy she can get.
I know. Somebody's got to say it. Somebody has to say it.
Anyway, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh dear. So it was Barbara's fault.
It was Barbara.
Barbara.
We said
How
we
many
talk about
names?
anything. How many more soapboxes do we need to get out today?
Barbara, don't ask any more questions. There
That's
are,
wrong.
well,
You
the
can ask
last
all
we
the
looked, there was 102. Okay? 102. And I'm sure by the time our soapbox is put away, there'll be some more, but 102.
Like, no, don't apologize, Barbara. You're fine.
Oh, I'm still back. I'm trying to catch up on all the questions.
No, I would
Barbara.
just say,
I love
label
you.
it. Label it so we can
Label
make a choice.
it. Absolutely. Label it.
what it is. And not a fancy made-up word that makes it sound like it's something scientific, because it's not.
If it has ose at the end, it's probably sugar.
Anyway. All right,
Allulose.
what's the next one?
Allulose is a
Allulose.
Yeah. Allulose, we have found, oh my gosh, I had a great testimony on allulose this week. So when you, I wrote a long post, a long heartfelt post on Facebook, and I'm probably going to save it and post it again, but there's a lot of shame right now happening in the GLP-1 world. And we have to walk a fine line. We have to walk a really fine line because we know so many people are hurting and so many people are taking this medication and they're not willing to tell us because it comes with shame, because it's been told that you're bad, you're taking a shortcut, all of these things that may or may not be true, right? I understand and have empathy because I was in that very same spot when I was 250 pounds. I would have done anything, and I've told you this, Darcy, you probably would not have done it, but I probably would have been one who would have fallen for the shot.
Right.
And so there is this overwhelming sense of shame. And so people are secretly taking these medications and they are not learning how to come off of them. And so the weight is just raging back. We're getting our first rush of clients. In fact, we're probably going to have to hire someone specifically for this department as people have experimented with the GLP-1, coming off of the GLP-1. We are getting blasted with clients who now have the courage to say I was on it.
Right.
Because there's so much shame. People they're not allowed to say that. Right.
And what I'm also finding is that when somebody goes on it and then they go off of it because they don't like the way they feel, they wait a bit and think, oh, well, it worked for me for a little bit, and maybe I'll just be able to deal with all of the vomit and all that sort. And so they try it again. Like they keep going on and off of it, thinking that they're going to have a different result.
Right. Yeah. And then they don't.
Or
they go off of it before they tell us they were on it. And then they come to us, get in our program, and we treat them like a normal client. When you come to us from a GLP-1, you're not a normal client. We've got to put you through a different program, because not only do we have to break the addictions, but we have to reverse your diet as you're coming off of the medication. It's a big science experiment project, right?
Yeah.
And so we need, talking about what we opened the show with, about honesty, we need you to be honest with us and tell us that you're on this shot. And there's no judgment from us because we understand. We're mad at pharma when it comes to the shot. That's where our anger is directed. It's not directed at the client, because I was desperate to get the weight off. So if you have lost the weight, don't hide from the fact that you were on this shot. You come to us and say, I was on the shot. Can you help me keep the weight off? Absolutely, sister. We're going to help you. Brother, whatever.
Brother. Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, I wonder what this percentage of people on the shot, men, women, is. The majority I've seen. Have you? I've not seen a lot of men on it.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about that?
We were talking, I don't know.
I don't remember. Shame. A lot of shame.
A
lot of shame. And so basically, when you come to us, you're on the shot. Do not get off the shot.
Right.
That's what I was talking about in my post, is we have to walk a fine line. We hate it because we know this side. We've lived in the maintenance side for 7 years, and we know how hard it is, and we know where your direction is headed if you're on the shot. And so we understand, and we have to talk very carefully about that. We don't want people to get on this shot, but if you're on it, don't feel shame. Tell us the truth and stay on it. We need you on that for a period of 4 months so that we can wean you off, raise your calories, reverse your diet, and and get you freedom from this food addiction. That was a
Right.
side note.
Okay.
Does sugar detox include anything that tastes sweet or just sugar only? Wonderful question. Wonderful question. You want to take that one?
Yeah, so this sugar detox includes anything that tastes sweet. Anything at all. Stevia usually doesn't spike your insulin, but we say avoid that. That's why we just use the pink Himalayan salt versus our Element. I know Element has an unflavored, but
Yeah,
if
they
you
do.
have, yeah, they do. But that's besides the point. And berries. People think, oh, I can just have berries because they're healthy. It's keto. Well, no, it's sweet. I'm trying to think of other things that
But
would be.
berries are keto. So
They are
after
keto.
detox,
Yeah.
good to go.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
the lowest containing sugar
Right.
containing fruits that there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing
Yes.
sweet to the mouth for 2 weeks. And if you have fallen off the wagon and you are in relapse, we will put you on it for a month.
Yep.
Detox for a month. We have a couple of them on that right now. And that's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
And it is hard with the things with the hidden sugars. When you think that there's nothing sweet in it, that's why we encourage even simple eating, very basic
Yeah.
as well. So
And you're right, Barbara. So many don't know this stuff. So
No.
many don't know this and don't understand it. And also, they come to us with just, please get this weight off of me. And they don't want to understand why.
yeah, they don't care.
And that's the difference, when I've worked with clients, it's a difference between the ones who succeed and the ones who fail is they want to know the why.
Yeah.
So,
That's the
Darcy,
desperation.
do you have any on your side that are asking questions? I only can see, I think, what's on my side. I don't know how the connections work, but double check that.
I had on my page, Gary was talking, and I didn't know he was on there. So
Okay.
Sorry,
Are there any
Gary.
questions?
No.
Are there any questions?
I don't think so.
Are there any other questions from anybody?
He just said, "Don't throw me under the bus, Coach."
We won't.
I don't know
We love
what
Gary.
that topic was.
We love Gary.
Yeah.
I love that about our group. We have what's called a food freedom weight loss group, and if you have ever experienced just alone, if you've been alone in your weight loss journey, maybe you're already doing keto and you're just tired of doing it alone, come join our monthly, or actually our weekly support group. It's like we run it like an OA, like an Overeaters Anonymous. I have a specific Overeaters Anonymous group on Mondays at 7 p.m. So we have that every Monday.
Yeah.
Every Monday we have a weight loss support group as well. And that has just brought life into people. There's nothing that we have done probably more successful than the group.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
They've got each other's backs. And in fact, yesterday we took a picture of the entire Zoom group and I said, all right, I want you to print this out. I want you to put it on your refrigerator because these are the people who have your back. Everybody lives with an enabler. Everybody has an enabler in the house that just says, hey, just one bite won't work. And those people will cause a relapse. You watch Dr. Now's show and you see that, right?
Well, mine's my little kids.
Your kids.
Like, when are you going to stop being keto, Mom? Well,
Oh, dear.
here's the thing, buddy. I'm doing this for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we're going to be right back. We're going to stop this show for just a little bit of a commercial break, and then we'll be right back to wrap up the show. So if you have questions, please load them up right now, and we will do a really, really fast round when we get back. So put your questions in the comment section, and we will be back, and we'll do a speed round, all right? Are you tired of those pounds that just won't come off? Are you ready for a real change? Dive into KM Health Coaching's signature weight loss program and start transforming your relationship with food and your body today. In just 3 months, you can shed those stubborn pounds and break free from emotional eating. With personalized coaching, a supportive community, and our breakthrough technology, you're set for success. Imagine weekly sessions tailored just for you, a group system where you can grow together, and technology that tracks every triumph. It's all here at KM Health Coaching. Now, exclusively for Beyond the Scale listeners, use code Beyond the Scale for $25 off. Start your journey to healing and happiness right now. Visit us, use the code Beyond the Scale, and embark on your wellness journey with KM Health Coaching's signature weight loss program. Your new beginning starts right now. All right. Yay. We're going to do a speed round here. We're going to try not to get on soapbox for speed round. Let's start this one. We've got one from Coach Darcy. Why are keto-friendly breads not really keto? That's a great question. You want to tackle it?
Oh, I asked the question.
Oh,
Answer it.
okay. Well, let me answer it. So, keto-friendly breads are the biggest scam of. It's just a money-making thing. Okay, there are some that have whole foods. So the minute I get something in my hot little hands, the first thing I do is I go to the nutrition label. First thing I start with is I start with the box. How many carbs are in it? Because I eat 20 carbs a day, right? 20 net carbs. So that's total carbs minus the fiber. So I look at that. I'm like, is it even in my allowance today? If it passes that test, then I go right below it. I go below it and I look at the ingredients. I look for code words. And all of this is in our Keto Bible. So if you don't have one, make sure you grab one. You get one when you get one for free when you're in our program. Keto Bible. I go to the list. And I have read through this Keto Bible so many times. I know it's in there. So there's things that after you've done it for about a couple of weeks, a couple of months, things start to pop out. And it's like, boom, if you could do a movie of highlighting words that just pop out and hit your nose. I look for maltodextrin. I look for maltitol. I look for corn. I look for oats. I look for wheat. If it has wheat, we do not eat. 9 times out of 10, if it says keto friendly, these yahoos put wheat in it. If it has wheat, we do not eat. It goes back on the shelf. So we go with whole foods. Now, some people say, well, what about Ezekiel bread? What about base culture bread? What about those kinds of things? Again, I go to the tab, go to the label. Does it fit in my macros today? All right. There are 4 carbs in here. Okay, I can do this. Then I go and I look for seed oils. Seed oils are a big one. If it has corn, if it has vegetable oil, if it has canola oil, never does that go in my body. This is worse for you than cigarettes. It's been proven. The cancer-causing effects of seed oils are worse than cigarettes. Okay, so if it has any of those, it's out. If it passes, now let's talk about Ezekiel bread. Ezekiel bread is a very, very whole, and this is. Let me give you a caveat of the last time I checked, because they change these things all the time. The last time I checked, Ezekiel bread is a higher carb, but it's all whole foods. It's all of the grains that we can eat. Some of them are not. You've got to, again, look at your Keto Bible, right? And then we look to see what's the lowest, if there was something that's, let's say you were on vacation. We don't let perfection get in the way of progress, but let's say you're on vacation and you find this thing and everything's really good, but that last ingredient, would I eat it? Yeah, I would, right? Because we're not going to be perfect. So it's all about the ingredients. And typically, if it says keto, it's not keto, it's a scam. Yeah. Right?
What do you think about this bread kind of being like an enabler to a lifestyle? Feeling like you can't do keto without these breads, right? These keto breads. Yeah. Encouraging the habit. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's a real one. When people say I can't give up my bread, I'm like, why? Why can't you? There are some things like, for my husband's work, I'm a little more compassionate with him. He's a keto guy himself. And he has, a situation at work where he kind of needs a carrier for his meat. And so for him, all right, take it. We use Base Culture, by the way. Base Culture is the cleanest bread that we have found. So I sent him to work with, Base Culture bread. But other times I'm like, well, why do we need that? Is it an enabler? Do we really need that in our life? And most of the time, just give me a burger. I don't need anything with it. Right.
I see in macros, it tends to be more of an addiction.
You're right.
You're right. When especially when it is a constant, like, and I say, hey, this is not approved. This might say keto. This is not approved, but it keeps coming back.
Yeah.
That to me says there's an addiction.
Yeah. It is definitely an addiction. We want you to get away from the processed, ultra processed stuff. Yeah. So, last question of the day: what do you do with your extra skin? We're gonna tackle that. All right. So, what do you do with the extra skin on your body? I've had clients come to me and say, "Well, I would lose weight, but I don't want the extra skin." Number one, that's an excuse. You just don't want to lose weight, right? Because anything is better than where I came from. Anything is better. Like, I'm going to shove that skin in some leggings and we're going to, we're going to do the thing. But will you have loose skin when you lose weight? Absolutely. There's lots of different options. Okay. And I want you to take all perspectives of this. First of all, there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to have loose skin. There's things you can do along the way. Intermittent fasting, I do not like it for starvation purposes. I do not like it for punishment purposes, but for tightening your skin, it's probably the best thing that you can do. There's no better way to stop loose skin than intermittent fasting because of the word autophagy and stem cells. You can rebuild stem cells and get rid of bad stem cells when you do a fast. So fasting is the best way. Yeah. Collagen, peptides, those things are helpers. They are absolute helpers. The lotions, the skin tighteners, all those things are good.
My favorite was dry brushing.
Did that work? Did you find that worked? Yeah. That is I tried
I noticed it more so for my veins.
Oh, yeah.
And circulation.
And isn't there one with a ceramic thing that you can roll? Like it's similar to a brush, but it's like ice. So. People are doing ice. Yeah. Something, might be a TikTok fad. I don't know.
I did the dry brushing is a little bit more scientific.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting the dead cells off, renewal,
yeah, totally. And what does it take? 60 days for your skin to renew and kind of
3 months, yeah.
Go cycle. Is it 3 months? Yeah. So your skin is going to overhaul. Yeah, it's one of those. I don't remember that. But, and then here's the thing that I went through. I had mine removed. I had mine removed by Dr. Downs in South Bend. He was incredible. He was an artist. And here's where I came up with, for a year, about a year after I lost the weight, I lived with this thought. Somebody told me, and I believed them, and I'm almost like okay with that for a year. But aren't you proud of those scars? They asked me. Why don't you wear those scars as battle scars and be proud of them and wear them happily and looking at your stomach that was, sinking to your knees every day as a good thing. Wear them proudly. And I bought that for about a year, and then I looked and I thought, okay. I studied skin removal surgery. I studied. I went and got a consultation, and I said, if this is body fat or if this is something, that I can get off myself, I'm going to do it myself. And he says, you can't exercise away loose skin. And I think a lot of our clients struggle with this when they get to goal because they think that they need to lose more weight and they've actually hit their goal, but it's just extra skin. And I always have to say, let's reevaluate. They removed 8 pounds of skin when I got now, caveat, a tummy tuck is not for the weak of heart. If you are interested in this, do not watch a video on it. Please do not. Watch it afterwards, but do not watch it before. It's not for the faint of heart. But there are doctors who know how to do it well. Dr. Downs is incredible. I would refer to him each and every day, and I'm not on his payroll. But find one that knows how to do it correctly, that knows how to cut a straight line. That's very, very important. And so you may come to the point where you're just like, you know what? I have the means to do it. Why not let a doctor do it? So that's where I came to my picture from, and it's okay wherever you land on that. Right. Somebody's asking, Darce, what is dry brushing?
So dry brushing is a brush that has like these natural bristles. They're kind of like, they should be tan, so they're natural. So, and then what you do is you're brushing your skin up in all over, and you're dry brushing all your skin. You're brushing all the dead cells off. You're brushing some circulation in your lymph nodes, all those things around your body. There's actually like a way that you can brush your body for the lymph nodes. But you'd have to look that up on YouTube. Cool. Yeah.
It's really cool. And Vonda said a fascia blaster as well. There's a lot of stuff you can do, but do it throughout the process. Don't wait till the end. Start to do that right away. It doesn't cost you anything, Put some collagen in you. The best part is the beef collagen, Best thing you could do. This is gross. for most. But to eat the gristle on the steak, that is the most powerful, potent kind of collagen that you can get.
Right.
Dr. Berry talks about that. So
Right.
we've mentioned Dr. Berry a lot. Maybe
Yes.
he'd come on our podcast one day. We're not.
I don't
We're
know,
not
I'd be
up there.
intimidated.
I'm
We're
probably
not.
too spicy. I'm probably
have too
too.
spicy
He
of a
probably
channel.
has to. He has a reputation to withhold, and
He'd be
you
like,
guys-
I am not talking to these girls.
"You guys are a little bit too
Not-
wild." But he's
not
the
okay.
one. He's the one that poked the bear at the ADA. So he's
He
pretty.
did. But we have,
And his wife Nisha, let me tell
Yeah.
you, she's spicy.
yeah, she's
Mhm.
spicy. So maybe he'd be like, okay, like he's hung out with us before.
He has. I got to meet
Know
him. It
that?
was so much fun. Got to meet him. So, guys, that's our show for the day. That is our show. We are here every Tuesday morning. In the comments, let me put these one more time. But in the comments, here are our links directly to our podcast. Make sure you go check that out.
Go download it.
It would really help us with the
It's a
algorithm.
new one.
Yeah,
New
a new one
popped
dropped
out
today.
Yeah.
What was
What's
the
that
one
one?
today?
I don't know.
It
What's
was
that? Can you hear that?
It was the one, how to keep it off long term. How to keep your weight
yes,
off long term.
Long-term
Yeah.
lifestyle.
Yeah, every
It's a good
Tuesday
one.
morning. Every Tuesday morning, we put a new podcast out there. And then on Thursday, we have a live encore. So if you couldn't stay for the whole thing today and you're like, what did these girls finish the show with? You can go over on Thursday. That will be uploaded. And then we also have some Monday Mindset. So
Like, follow, and share.
like, follow, and share. Share this with your friends. There's so many people who don't know how to get the weight off, how to get healthy, how to change their metabolic future. And that's what we've been called to do. That's our passion. And now we get to do it through the airwaves. So we're pretty excited about that. Yeah. Somebody asked, don't you lose business if you do free coaching on your podcast? And quite the opposite is true, because there's no way we can take you through your entire journey in a half-hour podcast. And so if we can kind of create some curiosity, make sure you set up an appointment with Coach Darcy or myself. We want to do a live free health assessment before you enroll in a program, just to make sure you get in the right one. Because if you're in the wrong program, you'll just get frustrated, right?
Yes.
Any last words, Coach?
I hear Glock. He wants in.
Yes.
Mother. Yes. No. I was just gonna say about the podcasting for free stuff. I think it's, we are just another set of health coaches that want to spread the word and share that there is hope.
Yes.
There is, you don't have to stay broken. It's not the end until it's your end.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of that, oh my gosh. So, I don't know if we should share. I don't know if we should close the note.
Obviously, you should, because you just did all that.
Oh, I just lost a classmate. And I
Maybe we
know
shouldn't have shared
this is our 30th year anniversary, 30th year
Yeah.
reunion this year, and this person had shared with me, I need your help quick because my doctor just diagnosed me. And she had reached out to me and was desperate, and it was too late, and we lost her. Lost her. And that's what happens when we get a panicked client. They come in and they say, you have to fix my health now because my doctor just diagnosed me with something. And sometimes it's too late. Don't wait till it's too late.
No.
Do not wait till it's too late.
Don't say, oh, I'm okay with eating this way. I'm okay with eating these donuts. I'd rather die than give up these donuts. And then it actually comes to it. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Can I take that back?
I need to take that back. You don't have time to take it back. You don't.
Nope.
All right, guys,
Invest
we will.
in your future you.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a great show today, Darcy. We will see you next Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. Have a great rest of your day.
Toodles.